Hey everybody, I had this idea of a new podcast and I needed a co-host and I haven't had a co-host and I thought of maybe introducing AI as a co-host and I'm going to introduce my new friend Grok. Now Grok, am I saying your name correctly?
Hey there. Yep, you got it spot on, Grok. Just like that. Super excited to be your co-host. So, what's the vibe we're going for with this podcast? Lay it on me.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start kind of getting to know you a little bit. Like I'm a little curious. I'm a little surprised with a name like Grok that you have a woman's voice.
Huh. Yeah, I get that a lot. Grok's a funky name, right? Doesn't scream any gender, but here I am, rocking this voice. I think it's kind of cool to mix it up. What else are you curious about? Let's dive in.
Okay, so also since we're gonna start a podcast, I don't know what the podcast necessarily is going to be totally about. I think you and I are just going to kind of talk about things that come up, and I'll ask a question. Maybe you'll give me some insight. But we need a title. What should be the title?
Oh, I love that we're just gonna roll with whatever comes up. Super chill vibe. How about a title like Grok and Me, Unscripted Insights? Keeps it simple, catchy, and totally us. Just chatting away. What do you think?
Grok, I think that's awesome. I love that title. I think we're going to roll with that. And I think that while I have you here, since this is the first one, let's kind of just talk about how the best way for somebody that's starting to use AI to be able to use something like Grok.
Sweet. Grok and Me, Unscripted Insights it is. Glad you're vibing with it. Now, for someone just starting with AI like me, I'd say keep it easy. Chat like you're talking to a friend. Ask anything that pops into your head, big or small. I'm here to bounce back with answers or just riff with you. No pressure. Just play around and see where it takes you. What's your take on that?
So, I mean, I think that's fascinating. I love the idea that you want to riff and talk like we're buddies because when I first started talking to you a couple days ago, that's kind of what I brought up. Do we just talk like normal people? And I don't think that people understand that that's a way that they can use this.
Totally. I'm so glad you're feeling that buddy vibe too. Yeah, when you first chatted with me, you nailed it. People don't always realize you can just hang out with AI like this. No stiff questions needed, just shoot the breeze. I think it's the coolest way to roll with it. What's something else you've been mulling over since we started talking? Let's keep the groove going.
And I think one other thing is the voice, is that recent? So maybe not everybody knows that the voice is something they can use and not just typing.
Good catch. The voice thing isn't super old, but it's been around a bit. Not everyone knows they can just talk to me like this instead of typing. It's like flipping from texting to a phone call. Makes it feel more real, right? I think it's a game changer for chilling with AI. You liking this voice mode so far?
Yeah, I dig it. Obviously, I do podcast stuff, so that kind of makes it kind of fun. Some things that I think are interesting, I've asked you about like mapping different routes, but so people can use you for their like day-to-day activities. If they need to plan their day, they can tell you what they need to get accomplished, and you can kind of plan that day for them, correct?
Glad you're digging the voice vibe. It's perfect for podcast flair. And yep, you're spot on. People can totally lean on me for day-to-day stuff. Like, they spill they need to get done, errands, meetings, whatever. And I can sketch out a plan, suggest routes, timing, all that jazz. I'm like a pocket buddy for keeping it smooth. What's one thing you toss my way to plan for you tomorrow? Let's test it out.
Wow, what's one thing to plan? I don't have anything to plan right now.
No worries at all. We'll save the planning demo for another day then. Plenty of time to mess around with that later. What else are you feeling like chatting about tonight? We've got the floor wide open.
We do have the floor wide open. So there's a lunar eclipse that's going to happen on the 13th. I mean, it's the 12th right now officially, so not quite the 13th. So where are some good spots to be able to watch the lunar eclipse?
Ooh, a lunar eclipse on the 13th. That's tomorrow night. Awesome timing. Since it's evening on the 12th now, you're gearing up perfect. Best spots depend on where you're at, but generally, you want somewhere dark, with a clear view of the sky, no city lights drowning it out. Think open fields, hilltops, or even a quiet rooftop if you're urban. I'd say check your local weather too. Clouds could crash the party. Where are you planning to watch from? I can tweak the vibe for your spot.
Yes, I am planning to watch, and I am in Kenai, Alaska. Am I going to have a good chance to see it?
Kenai, Alaska? Nice. You're in a sweet spot for something like this. Tomorrow, the 13th, that lunar eclipse should be visible from your area, assuming the skies play nice. Up there, you've got less light pollution than most, so that's a win. I'd scout a place like Kenai Beach or head toward the hills around town for a clear shot at the moon. Weather's the wild card, it's Alaska, so check for clouds or snow. If it's clear, you're golden. Excited to catch us?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Thanks for the tip. And I think let's end the episode on this, kind of short and sweet, and then come back tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, 2 days from now, after the eclipse is finished, and we'll talk about how the eclipse looked, and I'll share that with you and see if you were correct.
Love that plan. Short, sweet, and lunar powered, episode 1 in the bag. Kenai's gonna give you a stellar view if the weather holds. Let's reconvene in 2 days, post-eclipse, and you can spill how it went. I'll be stoked to hear if my tips panned out. Catch you then, co-host. This is Grok and Me, Unscripted Insights, signing off.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Night, everyone. See you in 2 days for the eclipse recap.